Can you put your arms up like this? Good.
Dr. Hannah Briemberg is an experienced neurologist
And squeeze really hard.
who too many times has had to be the bearer of devastating news.
Every time you see a patient and you have to tell them it's ALS, I'm not going to pretend it affects me nearly the way it affects them and their families. Very difficult. And it doesn't get easier. 20 years of doing this, it doesn't get easier. And then out straight.
With over 15 years working at the ALS clinic at the GF Strong Rehabilitation Center in Vancouver, she and her team primarily focus on supportive treatment, helping ALS patients manage the gradual loss of motor functions from this seemingly rare disease. But as Dr. Briemberg notes, the staff has seen an increase in demand, believed to be largely due to immigration and an aging population.
Well, we talk about ALS being a rare disease, but it's actually not as rare as the numbers might make you think. So right now in our clinic we have 400 patients. So there's approximately 400 patients with ALS in the province at any one time. But we're probably making about 100 new diagnoses a year.
And while Dr. Briemberg focuses on supportive care for those patients, as a physician who works with the Canadian ALS Research Network, she knows how important research and clinical trials are in eventually finding a cure for this fatal disease. But due to the growing number of patients and limited personnel, the clinic no longer has the capacity to conduct it.
Trials are quite labor intensive, and so they require time, they require space, and they require personnel. And as the clinic's expanding, clinical care has to come first, right? We have to look after the patients.
As the sole destination designated to serve patients with ALS in BC, Dr. Briemberg is excited about the aspiration of the ALS Society of BC's Project Hope, which aims to recruit a clinician/scientist to focus on creating a clinical research and trial program at UBC.
We have the second largest clinic in the country, so we have a lot of patients who would be very interested in participating in clinical trials. And what we all want is we want a cure for this disease. We're at a time where there are a lot of potential discoveries going on and a lot of potential trials coming up. And some trials work and some trials don't. And the more trials we can do and the faster we can do them and get through, the quicker we can answer the questions and either get drugs approved that work or move on from drugs that don't work.
From her perspective, the new program would be the perfect complement to the clinic, believing it could be a catalyst for BC to play a pivotal role in moving the science forward.
I feel very strongly that if we can get a good clinical research, clinical trials program, that's what this clinic is missing.
2 years ago.
Let's get a program up and running where we can run a number of clinical trials simultaneously, right? And we've got the caseload here that we can do something like that, and we can become a national leader, a world leader in clinical ALS research.
Michael Newman, Global News.